Hi guys, so I'm super excited this week for our science. We are going to be learning all about owls. And I know last week we were studying bats and we learned lots of different things about bats. And bats are a nocturnal mammal that fly. And we did some really interesting things studying them, and we created a tree map with our bat information and a bat diagram. So this week we're going to be doing the same thing with owls, and we're going to try to compare the two creatures. So if you remember a tree map, it'll start at the top with what we're learning about. This says bats, and it says bats can, bats have, and bats are. And we filled out facts that we learned about bats in that tree map. Well, this week we're going to be looking at owls. So here is our tree map for our owls. This says owls, and there's our little owl right there. And it says owls can, owls have, and owls are. So we want to figure out some owl facts we can add to our tree map. So I'm going to read you guys a story. Well, actually, it's a book. It's a nonfiction book by one of my favorite authors, Gail Gibbons. Now, Gail Gibbons writes about all kinds of interesting things. Last week, we read her book about bats. Today, we're going to read her book about owls and see if we can use the information from the book to put on our thinking map, on our tree map up here. Okay? Owls by Gail Gibbons. She's the author and the illustrator of this book. On silent wings, a bird swoops down in the moonlight. It's our clue that it's nocturnal because the owl is flying in the moonlight. The bird is an owl. Using its powerful claws, it grabs a field mouse. Owls are raptors. Raptors are birds of prey, meaning they are hunters that eat meat. So we've just learned several things about an owl in just these 2 pages. It likes to eat mice, and we've also learned it likes to eat meat. It's a bird of prey, meaning it eats meat. And owls are raptors. So if I look up here at my tree map, I know I have are right here. Owls are. So I'm going to go ahead and write the word raptors on my tree map so I don't forget that fact. Owls are raptors. Make sure I spell it right. Owls are raptors. Put a bush around our words so we know our 3 different branches. Owls are raptors. So that means that they eat meat. They grab their prey with claws called talons, and their talons are very sharp. So that means that owls have talons to catch their prey. They have sharp claws. So we could also go ahead and put a fact here. Owls have what? We just learned that owls have talons. Look at all these new vocabulary words we're learning. Owls are raptors. Owls have talons. I'm going to draw some sharp claws right here so you know that that word is talons. Most scientists believe that there are about 140 different kinds of owls. Here are a few pictures of different kinds of owls and all their different names. We have a mountain pygmy owl, an eastern screech owl, a great horned owl. And there are lots of owls in North Carolina where we live. There are owls all over the world, except for all the way up at the North Pole and all the way down at the South Pole. Here's our diagram of an owl. This is an eastern screech owl, and we have these owls here in North Carolina. And most owls have the same basic characteristics. The male is usually a little smaller than the female. That means the boy owl is smaller than the girl owl. The girl is usually larger than the boy. That's an interesting fact. There are 2 different types of owls. Owls with round facial discs and owls with heart-shaped facial discs. So if you look at these 2 owls, one of them has round facial discs. Do you see this one? His face is more round. And this one down here, his face is shaped like a heart. Now, if we look at the diagram of an owl, it tells us what other body parts an owl has. It obviously has wings because we've seen that owls can fly, so they have wings and they have feathers all over their body. They have their talons, it labels it there. They have a beak, they have eyes, they have facial discs, they have ears. So if we were filling out our have branch of owls have, we have owls have talons. We could also go ahead and add a couple of things from our diagram. We could write owls have wings. Wings. Remember those bats have wings too. That's an owl wing. So now you know that that is a wing. And they have membrane on their wings. Did we learn that? No, we haven't learned that. They have feathers. Their body is covered with feathers. Remember the bats had fur and a membrane on their wing. These owls are covered with feathers. So I'm going to write owls have feathers on my tree map as well. I'm going to draw a feather. I'll draw two. It says feathers with that Sammy snake on the end. An owl cannot move. An owl cannot move in their eye socket to watch for prey. So its eyes can't move. An owl can't move its eyes. Instead, it has a flexible neck and can twist almost completely around in a circle. His head can go almost all the way around in a circle, so he can watch for the prey that he's hunting. This says owls can hunt at night, and they are nocturnal. So bats are nocturnal, and owls are nocturnal. So they hunt at night. They can see much better than people. So owls can see very well. So we could write owls have great eyesight. Let's write that down. Owls have great eyesight. And I'm going to draw an eyeball right there so you know that that says eyesight. I drew eye. You can't see it that well in the video, but you can read it. All right. They also have a great sense of hearing. They rely on their hearing for hunting. They use their hearing and their eyesight, but they rely on their hearing for hunting. An owl attacks its prey silently. When flying, it can move its wings without making a sound. So owls can fly, and they fly silently. So here we have owls can. Owls can what? Owls can fly. So we're going to add the word fly here. F-L-Y, fly. Owls can fly. They are full of air. An owl's bones are very light and full of air. That makes them lightweight. So they have an extraordinary lifting power. So they can fly really well, and they fly in silence. Strong legs and toes and long, needle-sharp, curved talons give owls great grasping power. Grasping means grabbing. They can hold on to things. Most owls kill their prey by biting it at the base of its neck. Different owls have different diets. They may eat squirrels, skunks, rabbits, birds, snakes, insects, and other creatures. Owls usually swallow their food whole, head first. When an owl kills an animal that is too big to swallow whole, it shreds it with its beak. It shreds it with its beak. So, this says owls can swallow their food whole. Should we put this here? Owls can fly. Owls can. Let's put swallow their food whole, because that's a really interesting fact to me. Owls can swallow their food whole. And I'm I'm going to draw, let's see, what can I draw there? I'll draw a mouth open wide. So you know that whole little animal could fit all the way in that mouth. Ah! And swallow it whole. Owls cannot chew or grind their food. Owls don't have any teeth. Remember, bats have teeth. Owls don't have any teeth. They only have a beak. So they swallow their food whole. We just realized that. But listen to this. They cough up what they can't digest. So they have pellets that they throw up, that cough it up. They cough up these pellets. And the pellets are full of fur and bones from the animals that they eat. So they cough up these pellets that's fur and bones. So they swallow the animal whole, and then the part that their body can't digest, they cough it up into what is called a pellet, and that is full of animal fur and bones. Most owls rest or roost during the day. They're nocturnal. And some owls nap from time to time, resting their heads on their chest. Other owls twist their heads around to rest them on their backs. Look, he's resting his head on his back. Could you imagine turning your head all the way around and being able to rest it on your back? What a cool owl superpower. Hoot, hoot, screech, screech. Owls communicate in many ways. So owls can communicate. That means they can talk to each other. Not like we talk, but they can communicate with each other by making these sounds. They may use sounds to claim their territory, to warn of danger, to call a mate. That means to call a girl or a boy owl to come hang out with them. Owls make nesting sites in unusual places. They may nest in hollow trees, in tree stumps, on the ground, or in an abandoned bird nest. So they might go into a bird's nest, like a bird built a nest, and then the babies hatched, and so they left the nest. An owl might make its home there in a nest that another bird built. It's an abandoned bird's nest. That's so interesting. When a male barn owl courts the female barn owl, he'll bring food to her. So it's like this is the mommy owl and the daddy owl, and the daddy owl will bring food to the mommy owl. Isn't that nice? How nice. He often flutters his powerful wings and hovers over her to get her attention. When the female accepts the male, the female will lay her eggs in the nest. They find a dark space where it is safe to build the nest. About 2 weeks, the female will begin laying her eggs, and at the end of 10 days, there are about 5 eggs. So she sits on them, keeping them warm. This is called incubation. So owls lay eggs. So bats don't lay eggs. Bats are mammals. They have live babies, but the owls lay eggs. So that tells me that owls can lay eggs. So I'm going to write this here. Owls can lay eggs. I'm going to draw an egg in a nest. So you know that says owls can lay eggs. And if an owl can lay eggs, it means it's a bird. So owls are birds, and we learned that raptors are birds of prey. The baby owl is called an owlet. A baby bat was called a pup. A baby owl is called an owlet. They are covered with soft, downy fur. Both parents hunt to feed the hungry brood. So the mommy and the daddy hunt to go feed the owls. Now, when the owls are a month old, they have feathers and their eyesight is good, and the owlets are very active and jump on the food that their parents bring. So they pretend that they're grown up and they try to jump on the food and pounce like their parents do. When owlets are 2 months old, they have moved outside of the barn and are able to fly, but they will still need their parents to help get them food. When the young owls are about 5 months old, they are able to live on their own. So once the owl is 5 months old, it can live by itself. Years ago, there were many more owls in the world. People killed owls to protect smaller livestock, so humans used to kill owls. Farmers and others used chemicals to protect crops, plants, and trees from insects. Also, natural habitats were destroyed as people moved into wilderness areas. So this made the owl population decrease. But now people have set aside reserves for owls. They realize how important owls are for our ecosystem and for our world. Owls play an important role to keep balance in our natural world. People don't see owls very often because that's because they are creatures of the night. That means they're nocturnal. When you are out in the country at night, listen carefully. You might hear a ooh, 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 ooh sound of an owl. So that is our nonfiction book by Gail Gibbons about owls. Let's review our tree map real quick. Owls can fly. Owls can swallow their food whole. Owls can lay eggs. Owls have talons. Owls have wings. Owls have feathers. Owls have great eyesight. Owls are raptors. So, today, when you go to do your assignment in Seesaw, you're going to do your own tree map, just like this one. After you've listened to the story and you go to your assignment in Seesaw, you're going to draw it on paper at home. Write your 3 owl facts under your tree map. Take a picture and upload it to Seesaw. And then please record yourself reading to me what you have written on your tree map. How exciting to learn all this fascinating information about owls. I cannot wait to see your work today.